Hi, this is Felice Sloan with Swanky Maven.
I'm David Leftwich, editor of Edible Houston and associate editor at Houston Food Finder.
I'm Eric Sandler, food editor for Culture Bound. It's August, so as is tradition here on the Full Menu, it is time to talk about some of our picks for Houston Restaurant Weeks. If you're new to the city, Houston Restaurant Weeks is a fundraiser that takes place at over 200 locations across the city. It is organized by the Cleverly Stone Foundation and benefits the Houston Food Bank. The way it works is that restaurants serve set menus for lunch, brunch, and dinner. The prices are $25 at lunch and brunch, and either $39 or $55 at dinner. And then that triggers a $3, $5, or $7 donation to the Cleverly Stone Foundation, which then turns most of the money over to the Houston Food Bank. It is described as the largest fundraiser for the largest food bank in the nation. So it's a big deal. And unlike restaurant weeks in other cities, we get like the good stuff, right? It's not just chain restaurants. It's locally owned places. It's new places. It's institutions. It's a little bit of everything. So we have a lot to talk about. Felice, why don't you kick us off? What's one of your favorites for HRW?
This year, I'm going to kick off with the oldie but goodie, and it's a no-brainer. It's going to be Papa's Steakhouse, but they're only doing the downtown location, which again, I don't feel a way about because you get downtown and a great meal. It is I always call it one of the best deals on the HRW menu because it's literally like getting a discounted high-end meal with everything. You're going to get all the good things. I always recommend if you're going to go there, get one of their steaks. I may start with a Caesar salad and for sure key lime pie. That's where I'm going. That's how I'm starting it. What you guys starting it with? What you kicking off with, D?
Well, it's also a great opportunity to try new restaurants.
Yep.
And so I'm excited to see one of my favorite new restaurants doing Houston Restaurant Weeks, and that's Mimo, which is Chef Fernando Rios and sommelier Mike Sampson's new East Side casual Italian restaurant, and they're doing some really great stuff on Telephone Road. There's a 3-course lunch for $25, and it's actually you get a salad. You can try their what's probably maybe the best Italian-style hoagie in Houston now, which is they do excellent sandwiches. Or you can try their dinner where they're doing, and you get to both on there. It's a $55. Theirs is a $55 dinner. But you get to get one of their house-made pastas and one of their full entrees. But it's a great opportunity to try that new restaurant. Eric, what do you got?
Well, first of all, how dare you? Because Mimo was on my list. It's one of my absolute favorite new restaurants.
He's giving you the evil eye.
But I can pivot. I'm flexible. Another restaurant that's doing both the lunch and 4 courses, $55 at dinner is Hamsa, the Mediterranean restaurant in Rice Village. And sometimes with these HRW menus, it's not a good version of the restaurant. Like, you don't get the best dishes.
Right.
But Hamsa is doing that, right? You can get the lamb hummus. You can get their falafel, which is, for me, like one of the very best in the city. You get a skewer, your choice of beef, shrimp. There's a mushroom one for vegetarians and a dessert at dinner. And to get out of Hamsa, especially at lunch, 2 courses for $25, that's a pretty good deal. And a place that I've enjoyed many good meals at.
So you know what? I'm going to do another new kid on the block, as I like to call it. You like to see these fun little titles? We're going to go West. West as in Katie Brett's barbecue shop. I know Eric and David love it. Don't evil eye me. Don't evil eye me, because here's the cool thing. They have a lot to offer on their menu. So we may have different recommendations. I would start out with the burnt ends, and then I would also recommend their famous brisket enchiladas. Which way y'all going if you're going to Brett's? Because somebody has it on the menu.
I have them on my list, but I'm really interested in their Texas chocolate sheet cake, which is offered at lunch and dinner. But yeah, that's. I mean, they do great barbecue. You can get their Trinity, or their beef fajita tacos. It's just they're doing some really interesting stuff, and it's great to see them on there.
I will say I have had what they call the 9-napkin half-pound burger. It is just a big, beefy, juicy mess of a burger. It absolutely lives up to that name, and that would be That would be my Brett's pick. I'm going to stay on the west side, maybe not quite so far west as you, but talk about Pasha Nikkei. This is the Nikkei restaurant, Peruvian-Japanese fusion, out in the West Chase district. Again, lunch and that $55 dinner. So you can get ceviche, you can get lomo saltado, which is stir-fried beef tenderloin. The desserts are great. I think there's churros on the menu, so that's a fast yes for me. At lunch, they have the sushi rolls and some other options. So, but that's a restaurant showed up on the Texas Monthly Best New Restaurants list. It's gotten a lot of attention.
So another new restaurant that actually is also in that Latin American influenced vein is the Limbar, which is David Cordova's
Yeah,
thank you. A new restaurant over in the Innovation District. What really looks fascinating there is their lunch looks like an absolutely fabulous deal, and actually probably a better deal than their dinner. I don't know if they want you guys to know that or not, but it's $25 and it's a 4-course lunch, and you get to choose from one of their empanadas, a salad, one of their tacos or kind of smaller lunch plates, and a dessert, such as the strawberry beet crumble, which sounds really good. So this is a restaurant where, I have not gotten a chance to try, and this sounds like, for me, an excellent opportunity to go there and try it. Check it out at lunch. They're also doing a $39 dinner, which also has an interesting truffle Twinkie on it as a savory first course.
Another newcomer, I was very impressed by their menu. It's Lee's Den, so it's a newcomer on the list, and then it's like a newer restaurant. Gochujang, short ribs. Can you go wrong? Miso, cod. Those are things that I'm thinking. This is a dinner offering. Of course, you get the 3 courses, and then they're going to give you banana pudding. So I wouldn't put those things with banana pudding, but this is a great reason. Again, this is why we do HRW. Things that I wouldn't normally get, I'm going to try the banana pudding. And then they have a Vietnamese beef tartare for their first course. So I thought that was a pretty interesting offering.
The other thing about Lee's Den is that their wine prices are incredibly cheap. Basically, it's bottle shop retail pricing in a full service setting. So if you like wine and you haven't been to Lee's Den, this is your spot for sure.
So it's a win-win.
A double win.
Double win. Okay.
I want to swing back to a couple of tried and true places. I want to start with Roost in Montrose. This is Kevin D'Addary's restaurant. It's been around for more than 10 years, which is a real credit to Kevin and his team. $55 4-course dinner. It's got a lot of great choices on it, right? You can get their peach salad, which is a really nice summer dish. You can get the fried cauliflower, which is kind of a signature for them. The entrees look good. There's a sweet corn and goat cheese ravioli. There's a sweet and sour chicken. For a couple extra bucks, you can get a steak. And then, for desserts, that coffee and donuts is one of the only, it's little fried donut holes that have been on the menu since day one. Always a favorite.
You got to get that. That's the dessert you got to get.
You got to get the cauliflower.
Yes,
right? You gotta
yes.
Get
Those are insider tips.
Well, speaking of another classic that's on doing Restaurant Week that has a good cauliflower dish is Cultivare. And it's a good opportunity if you haven't been to this kind of farm to table, or actually garden to table, because they do have their own garden right there. Texas spin on Italian cuisine. It's a good opportunity to try it. You get a $39 3-course dinner. You can try, they have a whole bunch of different things you can try on their first course, including their wonderful cauliflower with pine nuts and raisins. You can also try their classic spaghetti with black pepper. You can try one of their pizzas. You can also get an excellent olive oil cake with blackberry compote. And I think you were just there, Eric.
Yeah, I had dinner there this week, and I talked to the general manager. She says they love the crowds for HRW. They love how enthusiastic people are. They are ready. They bring it on.
I want, you know what? They're always on my list. I want to try the squash pizza. Normally I go with the classics that I want really bad. That squash pizza jumped off the menu. I'm like, ooh.
That looked good, yeah, with the
right?
pesto and the smoked mozzarella.
So, they have a good little offering. So staying with tried and trues, Davis Street, and I'm going to start in the area that I don't normally start. at Davis Street. I'm not a dessert person, but just for the coconut cake, Davis Street has to be on the list, right? Like the coconut cake is legendary. And so I'm going to work my way down. So you want to get the coconut cake. And another thing that jumps out is the Thai snapper. That is for two. It is a $17 upcharge if you add it. However, again, it's for two. You will not be disappointed. If you're not dining with someone, which would maybe be me, I'm going to have some for lunch the next day. So it is the meal that keeps on giving. That's what I like to say.
Last one for me. I just feel like if we don't talk about B&B Butchers, then we have not done this segment justice. This is the number one donating restaurant every year, and the reason is they have the best menu. 10 different appetizer choices at dinner, 10 entree choices at dinner, and it's all the stuff you want at a steakhouse. Caesar salad, wedge salad, meatballs, bacon, not a 6-ounce filet like most restaurants, but an 8-ounce filet included in the $55 charge. But if you want to get, as Felice would say, bougie with it, you can treat yourself by spending up for either a prime sirloin, or I think there's a $40 fee for a prime 22-ounce bone-in ribeye, which that's a real steak lover's steak. So your $55 meal just became a $95 dinner, but that steak's probably charge $70 or $75 for the steak by itself. So I still say you're coming out ahead with the other two courses.
I would agree. I'm going to go with the Annie Cafe. Another great choice, a wonderful meal. And owned by the same people, you have a plethora of choices. My choice is going to look like maybe I'm going to get the filet or even the prime beef sandwich, which is always excellent, and maybe the lemon cake. Those are my choices, but that is a good addition to the list, and I think they have a great price point.
All right, well, this is tough having to pick, 'cause I'm looking at my
Where are you
list of
gonna
the
go?
places that I'm going to have to leave off because there's so many great choices this year, as is every year.
It is.
I'm going to go with Lucille's. You can get Chris Williams. He's been a James Beard finalist for Best Restaurateur. And he's got on there, you can get a 2-course lunch so you can try like their excellent fried green tomatoes and get the shrimp and grits. Or for only a little bit more, $39 for dinner, you can get 3 courses and you can get some of the same stuff. You can also get their wonderful fried chicken, which is brined, or you can get their catfish and grits. It's one of the best catfish dishes, I think, in Houston. And then you can throw on a dessert, which I would get the lemon icebox pie, which is just kind of the classic icebox pie, but super lemony, really good, and it's a great way to round out a meal. And again, there's just so many places we've left off of this list, but it's Houston Restaurants Weeks is a great opportunity to try some classic restaurants, some new restaurants, and to help out the Houston food bank.
It's a good problem to have, right? Choices. There are a lot of excellent choices, and it's for an amazing cause. Hi, this is Felice Sloan with Swanky Maven.
I'm David Leftwich, editor of Edible Houston and associate editor at Houston Food Finder.
I'm Eric Sandler, food editor for Culture Map, and you're listening to Houston Matters with Craig Cohen.